Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Today I am out on the Tiger Sport 660 and I'm testing out the new official Triumph handguards that I recently installed. So if you want to see how those are installed, then stick around. I'll show you how I did it.
We're in the garage today, and I'll be installing the official handguards for the Tiger Sport 660. Before we get started, here's a look at what comes inside the kit. I've separated the screws and brackets for the side of the bike that these will be installed on. Most of the parts we'll be using today come with the kit, except for one lock nut that we'll be reusing, but more about that later. The first thing I'll be doing is removing the bar end covers from both sides. Next, I'm going to prep each of the handguards by installing the mounting brackets. This is the M6 by 12mm screw. And only one screw per side is needed since the top part of the bracket uses a locating pin to keep it straight. This screw is torqued to 4 Newton meters. For the install, I'll be starting with the clutch side, so the clutch lever, pivot bolt, and the lock nut need to be removed. This lock nut will be reused for this install, so keep it aside. I would also recommend saving the stock pivot bolt in case you want to return the bike back to its original configuration someday. To install the handguard, position it over the clutch lever bracket. Then insert the clutch lever pivot bolt from the kit. Next, screw on the lock nut that was removed earlier, but don't tighten everything down yet. Take one of the spacers and bar end screws from the kit, thread it in part way, leave it loose for now. Before tightening everything down, make sure there's enough hand clearance around the clutch lever. When you're satisfied that it's lined up where you want it, tighten the bar ends to 5 Newton meters and the pivot bolt lock nut to 3.5 Newton meters. Next up is the brake side. Start out by removing the brake lever, pivot bolt, and lock nut. These will not be reused for this install, but again I recommend saving these in case you need them in the future. Next, take the plastic sleeve from the kit and insert it into the recess on the master cylinder housing. Position the right handguard bracket over the master cylinder housing. Make sure all the holes line up from the handguard bracket, master cylinder housing, and the brake lever itself. Then install the brake lever pivot bolt from the kit. The next step is to take the flanged sleeve, place it on the bottom of the pivot bolt, making sure that it locates correctly in the bottom of the handguard bracket. Then loosely install the lock nut. Do not tighten this all the way yet. Just like with the left side, we're going to loosely install the bar end spacer and screw. Make sure there's enough hand clearance around the brake lever and that the bracket is positioned where you want it. Finally, tighten everything down. The pivot bolt is going to be screwed into 1 Newton meter. The lock nut on the bottom of the pivot bolt is 6 Newton meters. And the bar end is going to be 5 Newton meters, just like the left side. Now that the install is complete, make sure the clutch and the brake levers operate correctly and that you can turn the handlebars all the way in each direction without making contact with the tank or the windshield. Final safety check is to turn on the bike's power, make sure the brake light switch is functioning correctly.
This is the second recent upgrade that I've done in order to prep the bike for winter. I live out here in Arizona, so I'm fortunate enough to be able to ride year-round, and during the summer I do pay my dues, but it's really nice riding out here in the winter time. But it still gets really cold in the morning, so I need something to keep my hands warm, and I oftentimes will wear heated gear, like either heated gloves or definitely a heated jacket. So I do have those prepped and ready to go. It's amazing how just having your hands warm will help keep your whole body temperature regulated. So besides having my heated jacket, I went and installed some heated grips on here recently, and now the handguards are the finishing piece. That'll just keep an extra level of the wind off of my hands. So these are doing very well, exactly as I expected. Not much to say on it, but the install is fairly easy. Again, I'm not a mechanic, so take this video as a guide. Of course, always be careful when you're dealing with the pins that hold on your brake and your clutch levers. If you mess up on something like that, that could have devastating consequences. So if you're going to go and attempt to do this install, then please be safe. The install went great, and I'm really happy that I purchased these. These are going to be so much of a help in the wintertime. But that's about all I had for today, guys. If you found this video interesting, then please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next one.